once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and kind of posting and starting the stream is short turnaround time. Didn't put a lot of notice, and I am starting early today. There's reasons. There's reasons for everything. And today, the topic that I wanted to discuss, where my inspirations were today, is discussing reasoning. This life we live, it really is an amazing, incredible adventure. And before I even jump into things, blessings and my appreciation truly to all of you who have found your way here or who might find your way here, whether with the live stream or the later. I couldn't help but notice Modern Men Lost again. Welcome back. You looked like you shared the exact same thing as our poll and Nightbot. Nightbot got you. I couldn't believe that. It just cracked me up. So just so for Landry, it wasn't me. I don't know how that happened, but here, let's jump through some things. Oh, look what I did, man. I forgot to do that. There we go. In the background, the idea, the reminder, let's rest together, rest in the peace that surpasses all understanding. And if I can communicate well enough, then hopefully these ideas might be better understood by more of us. This peace that surpasses all understanding. It is the goal and it is the way we want to live. And what I've learned for myself, if you look at life objectively. You just kind of step back and look at the facts. It is true. Fear, the false evidence appearing real, fear plays a false god in the lives of many. When the fears are surrendered, you discover that the true source of your strength, it has always been from God. This is what I've realized for myself. My life experiences have shown me this clearly. All of my strength, it wasn't Jack. It was this divine power that arises from within me. Just like there's a divine power, a divine strength that arises from within you. And it's found beyond any reasons for fear. Our reasons for fear are in the mind. So the key to this, to moving beyond the fears so you can align with the divine power, the divine strength that you are, consciously, intentionally seek to gain the power through God's love. Because if you bring your mind into focus and you pay attention to the concept, the idea of God's love, well, that is where your power is gained from and through. It is all by divine forces, powers greater than ourselves. There are these higher powers in life. We can point at them with our words, but the highest powers that I've come to know for myself, it's truth. It is love. Truth and love, there is no separation from those, but men and women, we can separate ourselves from truth, from love. I had a note within something along those lines. I was trying to remember what I wrote. The idea initially for today was becoming more reasoned. If you've got a strong, powerful reason for you, you've got a why within your heart, why you're doing something, why you are how you are. If you've got a why within yourself, a strong enough reason, that'll push you through. See, because the true reasons are true, and we want to be aligned with the truth. We want to be aligned with the truth. We want to be aligned with the love and the truth that are brought forth from the heavenly realms, the realms beyond this material world. Because the light of life, the light of wisdom, the light of love, that light is yours, yours to claim, yours to ignore, yours to diminish. There's a light within all of us that shines when we allow ourselves to shine with authenticity, to shine with care, to shine with intention, shining forth your talents, your your blessings. This is the goal for us all, truly. We live in this realm of polarity, duality, light and dark, truth and untruth, love and fear, masculine and feminine. It's all these polar opposites. But in every polar opposite, they're identical. They're identical in nature, separated by degrees. But when you find the similarities and you unite the polarities, then you find the wholeness. And within you, within me, there's a potential balance within the masculine archetype, the feminine archetype, between the selfish part and the selfless part. There's a balance to be found through all of us. And when we are balanced and whole with the light of God, with the truth of God, with the love of God, what can stop you? Certainly not the darkness, certainly not the shadows of the unknown. That can't stop someone who's filled with light, filled with love. They've got reasons in their heart, reasons to love, reasons to live. These things are the truth, and it all swings back to the stories and the lessons passed down to us through the Bible, that holy Bible, the collection of books. And that's not the only place, but everything you need to know can be found through the teachings of Christ Jesus. I trust that's true for me. And anything that's true for me, I mean, I'm a pretty simple and ordinary guy. I'm much like everybody else. And the way I see it is if something is true, then it's true. And if something is true, then it may be of importance. So maybe our purpose here, maybe our purpose here on earth is to actually create the reasons for our life. And it's not going to be found through some external power. It's going to arise from within. But you don't hear from within if you're constantly caught up in the world around. This online experience that I am a part of, that you're tuning into, the online experience, there is craziness happening here in the panel verse and all these different creator beings. That's what we are. Back to polarity, though. Back to polarity and balance. Recognizing that what darkness actually is simply the absence of light. Cold is the absence of heat. Darkness, the absence of light. Sin is the absence of truth. Sin is the absence of love. Now, truth and love are eternal. They're forces that are powers greater than our material, right? It comes through and it's beyond the material, the power of truth, the power of love. And those are the marks we want to align with. And it's a momentary experience, right? Just because you step out of love, you step away from the truth. Just because you've done that in the past doesn't mean it has to continue. You can always reclaim your place in the light. You can always reclaim your place in good graces with the universe when you show that you are aligned with the truth, when you're aligned with love. That's what the universe is wanting for us, I'm sure. It makes sense because we have these inner guidance systems within us. There is a true conscience within our mind and our heart that sees, and our subconscious and our superconscious, it knows much more than our clouded and confused minds. The subconscious and the superconscious, they take the bigger truth, and we feel it. We feel if we've done wrong. We know within ourselves when we've done wrong, when we shouldn't do something, and yet we do it anyway. Or when we know we should do something and we don't do it. We know we're in the wrong, and that's when that guilt starts coming up. That's when the darkness starts setting in. Because when you see yourself doing things you know you shouldn't do, when you see yourself putting off things that you know you should do, then you're being irresponsible to you. And the Holy Spirit of you, it loves you far more than that. Your Holy Spirit doesn't want to see you being irresponsible with you. The Holy Spirit wants to see you flourish, wants to see you grow, wants to see you succeed, see you happy and joy-filled. Why? Because that's what the power of love is all about. And it is the power of love that moves us, brings us into life, into the physical form, and it's more than just love. It is the union of polarities, the union of the darkness and the light, bringing in the shadows and the contrasts, the bitterness and the sweetness, all of these varying polarities. As they become a union, well, the union of polarities is what this universe is. But we don't have to be so polarized. We don't have to be so divided or so out of control with our thoughts and our emotions. See, the union of polarities, what did I put here? Oh, yeah, regarding masculine and feminine within ourselves, we've also got the union of polarities between logic and emotions, right? Thought and feelings. Those are similar, but they're quite different. They both have powers that move us. But even within the idea of logic and emotion, we've got, in the realm of thought alone, we've got all the details, and then we've got the concepts. Now, if you only have the concept and you don't have all the details, you may not have a clear picture. And then if all you've got is details, but you don't see the bigger picture, well, you can get lost in confusion. So another balance of the polarities, the union of polarities that we want to be mindful of, is the details and the bigger picture. It is the details. It's in the details that our mind gets overwhelmed, that our mind can get confused. But the devil is in the details, and without that bringing forth the more clear picture. Here, I'm kind of getting off on where I want it to be. I did say this is going to be a short stream. I'm actually going to start traveling here before too long. Mr. Murphy, no, the Holy Spirit created this world, the world of diversity and beauty and color and nature. That's what the Holy Spirit created. Man's selfishness, man's greed chose to create corporate slavery just for us. Now, God, the infinite God, the one that creates and allows all things, it allows people to be stupid. Clearly, if God didn't allow people to be stupid, how would we have Donald Trump as president? That's not a wise choice, in my opinion, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm not. Love and hate are polarities in many ways, and yet they're also kind of the same thing, aren't they? I am not practicing Kabbalah. I'm practicing the way that Jesus taught. I mean, I kind of explained that, Teddy Spaghetti. um, Here, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead. We will open it up. We'll see what this afternoon brings. I do have a, as I mentioned in the title today, it's going to be a brief stream. I found some ideas. I don't know. I hope some of these ideas came through somewhat. My intention for doing this, right? The why Jack is live streaming. I feel good. I feel really, really good about life and what I've learned and who I am becoming. And I want to share that good feeling with you, with whoever you are, especially if you're still dealing with some bitterness and darkness and some shame, maybe some unhealthy habits. I really want to help you because I know that helping you helps me. And see, we live in a world of make believe where a lot of fairy tales are being lived out. People tell each other stories and then they believe those stories. And one of the stories I keep hearing is I can't help anyone until I help myself. I can't help anyone until I help myself. How can you help yourself if you can't help anyone? Because you are anyone. And what I have learned for myself, truly, I can suffer. I'm fine with suffering. I've been through suffering and pain and discomfort and inconvenience, and I can deal with a lot of crap. But I know that I really feel good at night when I'm able to be of service to another, when I'm able to help them say, hey, that worked. We solved a problem together, man. Thank you. When I'm able to participate in something like that, helping to solve a problem in the world, it doesn't change the entire world, but it does change the world for the people who have the problem. And sometimes, each of us, when we help others, when we give of ourselves, that's literally our purpose for being here. If we don't stop and look out for others, we're missing the point. And I didn't realize how important that was until I started waking up. And as it was written a long time ago in the Bible, right? And it's not just in the Bible, these other cultures and prophecies, they've talked about a time of an apocalypse, a great change, a revealing. Well, that's what I experienced in myself. I experienced an internal day of judgment. I experienced an internal revealing. The world revealed itself to me differently than way I had seen the world in the past when I started changing me. And the more I started changing me, the more I realized I had a lot of work to do, right? Because especially in the past, I was where you see me at today. I've actually done a lot of inner work already. So if you see me triggered and angry, I used to be a lot louder. I used to be a lot angrier. And it would take me longer to reset. And it would take me longer to restore my inner balance. The balance is the key. I thought love was something you gave to others until you were empty and exhausted. It turns out I'm allowed to love me too. Who fucking knew? It's the truth. I I didn't realize how confused I was. I didn't realize how much darkness had overtaken my mind and my time until I started changing. And it is true in many senses of this world. This universe is here for you. This universe is here for you to live, for you to thrive, for you to succeed, just like me. And the universe isn't just sitting there passively. No, the universe is actively working with you, working with me. We are part of a divine plan that is far greater than anything we could have imagined. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Um, the fact of this natural order that the universe offers forth, right? The natural order, all these different physical laws and energetic laws and laws of logic, laws of reasoning, all of these things are just for us to better explain ourselves and each other. But this universe, and you can call it the universe, you can call it God, you can call it that which is, you whatever name works for you. To me, it's all the same thing, but it makes sense. You take steps to go after what you want. And if your heart is pure and you're authentic about what you want, then what you want is a service to others. It's not just for yourself. If what you want is in service to others, it's a better position for you and the world you live in. You start taking those steps and the universe will show you the way. Until you start taking the steps toward your goal, toward your dreams, towards what you hope to achieve, until you start taking those steps, man, it'll just stay that far away from you. But I've heard so many testimonies. There's some people call it the power of manifestation, the power of time shift or shifting dimensions or whatever. There's all these names that a lot of the new age people talk about. But it all follows a perfectly logical order. The key to realizing, though, with our logic, because there's a lot of people I've met a lot of smart people, but I can fall into that category sometimes myself. And what I've realized about smart people, they can fool themselves. They can fool themselves just as they can fool other people because we outsmart ourselves. And that would make sense too. If there is a higher mind far greater than us that wants us to learn and know and grow, it's going to let us outsmart ourselves. You know, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, if you had the supreme mind and you had these little egoic children thinking they're running the world, and hell, they're even doubting you, doubting your existence as the God and creator? You got all these little fleshly beings here in the world. Wouldn't you let them outsmart themselves? Wouldn't you let them fall on their face a few times, smack their head into the wall, whatever it is, right? Let children do what children are going to do, and then they're going to learn and they'll grow up. But then that gets us into the thoughts of time as well. My first thought was from the mind of the infinite, from the heavenly realm, time is not an issue. It's only an issue for us. So if it takes us an infinite number of lives to learn what we need to learn, in other words, if it takes us an infinite number of lives to learn not to be an asshat, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep going through these motions and until we figure out, don't be an asshat. Don't be a jerk to you. Don't be a jerk to others. Matter of fact, do unto others greater than you would want for you, right? Be willing to wash the feet of another. Be willing to be the one who brings forth whatever the greatest need might be at whatever moment, whatever gathering you're at. If you're with others, you're with yourself, and there is a need that comes up, be the one. Be the one to step up and say, hey, I got it. You guys ain't got to worry about it. I got this taken care of. We all have our own talents, our own handicaps. We've all got our own different variations of who we are. But You know, the slightest of us, the smallest of us, can easily rise to being a hero just by bringing forth that which is needed at the time. And I think that's what God does. I mean, I think this is what it is when God creates the day. The day, each day that we reawaken to and we clear the cobwebs out of our heads, we kind of reanimate ourselves into life. This day that's been created, it's just an opportunity for blessings and lessons to be exchanged. And in the end, that's really all it is, lessons, because we take the memories with us. We take the memories of who we are, what we've done. That's what moves forward with us in time. It's not our bank account. It's not the relationship. It's not the job title. It's not any of that stuff. We're here to create and live the lives of our dreams. What are you dreaming? See, when we live in this world of conformity, where people are trying to police one another and beating good ideas out of each other's head, right? No, you can't have a good idea. You got to shut up and stay small. You can't do something great. You're not worthy. I've heard a lot of that. Um, where was I going with that? As opposed to that, as opposed to joining those who want to conform and want to stay small and policing each other and limiting ideas, be different. Be you. Because if you're honest about you, you are different. So am I. We're all different than each other. Some things work for one, they may not necessarily work for another, but there's also some pretty consistent patterns that do work. Honesty, compassion, forgiveness, mercy, generosity, creativity. Those are the good fruits of life, and those are available through us all. But in this world of conformity where we limit ourselves and we see ourselves pushing others back down, well, we feel guilt and we feel shame because we've got a true conscience within us. We've got the mind of God with us. We've got the mind of Christ with us. There's powers within you that know when you're lying, even though you might want to pretend that you're not. Those powers will not play around. There are consequences to every thought. There's consequences to everything. That's what this life is about. It's all cause and effect. A cause creates a consequence, results. That's what we're all here for. We are the results and the consequences of those who came before us. We have the opportunity to share blessings, right? Hoping to bring good consequences for our actions, right? We want to bring positive change wherever we go. But in this world of conformity where people limit themselves, we censor our own intuition, we'll censor our own emotions, we will deny what is authentic and right for us. And if you do that long enough, you're eventually it's going to catch up, because by denying ourselves growth, by denying ourselves goodness, sharing goodness, becoming better, by denying ourselves those aspects of life, it's self-sabotage. You're on a path of self-destruction. um Hey, blessings to you, lawyer chick. Thank you. uh PSA, please block the haters. Energy vampires. There are many of those. I haven't been paying attention in the chat today. I'm kind of focused on this. However, let me turn my attention to the chat because I do think I've said a lot of what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who have stopped in. uh, yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but that's okay. We're okay without Tommy. If there are any questions, any ideas, or topics you guys um, might want us to discuss, please. Otherwise, I am flying south tonight, going to take a trip, and my future streaming schedule, at least for the next week, I am not sure how often I will be. Um, but I've been talking about this trip for a little while, and it's finally coming together. I think I'm about packed. I've only got a couple of other things to put in the bags. And then tomorrow, start my day in Louisiana. And then we'll see what happens there. The back to reasoning. The reason the topic, what brought this idea up for me was I was considering myself. Despite my reputation, I do know who I am, and I am a very reasonable man. When people try and reason with me instead of argue and tell me what to do, when people actually present explanations and present their side, I'm usually pretty good about considering other people's views. um, hey, blessing, Trexty. Thank you sincerely. I think I love you. Told Jack I might go mad with power with the mods. Yes. Where was I going? Oh, reasonable. Becoming reasonable. What does it mean to be reasonable? It means that you will entertain reasons, not just imagine your own reasons, but you can accept, you can understand, and maybe entertain reasons from others. You can understand different perspectives. Every one of us can be reasonable when we're willing to put our little egos aside, put aside that selfish, insecure, what's the right word? It's not hubris, the personality of hubris, the overly prideful or the overly insecure. Those mindsets, right? One's too full of themselves and one's filled with uh, ideas of themselves that they're not enough, whether you're insecure or narcissistic. Those two extremes in the polarity, they're out of balance. And one who is out of balance is not able to be fair and reasonable. It's a challenge for them. Why? Because they're caught up in their mind or they're caught up in their emotions. It's the out of balance that brings our confusion. But this is where the key of settling into resting in the peace that surpasses all understanding. That peace that surpasses all understanding, it's available in this present moment. And I've been learning some tricks on how to get my mind to shut up in the present moment, right? So I can sit with the silence and the stillness that moves me. It has to do with your breath. You exhaust your body of breath and your mind will go still. There's another path I found too. People see me. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. I can feel it. People see me adjusting my back quite a bit, especially when I'm feeling a little tense. I do that. And something I noticed about that too is there's a connection between our spine and our mind. And it makes sense because it's the same fluid that our brain is in that goes through our spinal column, as I understand it, right? The cerebral spinal fluid. It's all connected together. And I noticed in myself, open your spine, you'll open your mind. It worked for me. Stretch your back out. every day. And if you do, if you get into your back, you start articulating every vertebrae and feeling the motion in your spine and in your back. What I have found is that practice actually shuts the world out, because my focus is all within me. And then that pleasure feels good. The focus of being within me feels good. And then I can use that. I can use that practice of adjusting my back, stretching my body to silence my mind. And even if I can get a silent mind just for a moment, well, that starts the process. And in the silence, I can start to get clarity. I can start separating out the noise and letting the noise fade away so that I can focus on where I am, who I am, and what is the problem or the situation that's before me. If you reason with yourself more, not argue with yourself, but be reasonable with yourself, having compassion, having honesty, right? Not accepting excuses, but understanding when things are the way they are. Understanding that sometimes you might not feel real happy. You might not feel real good. And understanding that that's okay for you too. Just like it's okay for someone else not to feel good one day, for someone else to have a bad day. I mean, I hope you can get over someone else having a bad day, having a tough time. We live in this world where people are so judgmental of others and so forgetful of themselves. Blessings to you. You guys and these contributions. Melanie, thank you. Greetings. Grateful to see my favorite enigmatic internet guru today. I am humbled. I am humbled and grateful, and I truly am. I am so, the fact that I found myself on this path with all of you amazing, incredible people, this has got to be God's work, man. This has got to be God's work. Don't get me wrong. In the past, when I was going through my torments and my troubles, I was cursing God. I was screaming at God, screaming at myself, cursing myself, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. But you know what? When I get past all my, when I get past my fears and my insecurities, when I get past my frustrations, my disappointments, do you know what I can find? I can find the light of love. I can find the light of love in the truth that you have shown me. And I don't, when I say you, the viewer, you who have interacted with me, even if it hasn't been very much, I see evidence of you in the numbers, in the data, and whatever. I know that there are many of us in this world. We're all trying to figure out who am I? Why am I? Who are they? Why are they? And what are we going to do? If those make sense, if that makes sense to you, I think I trust everything is coming true. Everything is coming together one way or another. The future, it works itself out. Where we end up along the path, well, that's up for each of us to figure out. And I guess we'll find out when we find out. We realize when it happens, right? You don't, I'm speaking vaguely here, but the idea that comes up is you can go along thinking you know something. You can even be saying the words to others, right? Telling them the right advice and the right things. You think you know something until it clicks. And then you realize, oh, wow. Yeah, there's a new level to what I was saying. Oh, there's more depth to what I didn't know. This is what I found for myself. These ideas of forgiveness and peace, letting go, acceptance. A lot of these ideas were recurring for me in my path of recovery, the 12-step process, right? Breaking from addiction. You got to reestablish your honesty, regain your trust, and regain your worth. And so I got the principles of a lot of these things intellectually. I felt I knew it. But until God allowed me to experience a love that I had never known, to experience a peace, a peace so beyond anything I'd ever understood, I didn't understand the depths and the importance of the words spoken by Jesus left for us to know until I did. And there was many times in my personal path, my path of self-development and inner work, there were many times where I felt this shift and something changed, and there was more release, more expansion, more peace, more bliss. There was just more of the goodness. And I didn't know this stuff could exist. Like I said, until my life started changing in 2018, I did not know it could feel good to be a human. I mean, I had moments of feeling good, intoxication or crazy sex and all this stuff, but it was just moments. And those moments, they weren't enough. It was just left me wanting more of the escape from my life. But 2018, that's where Jack Talcott's life started changing because I committed myself to change. And I tell you what, I was scared at first, and I've faced many times in my journey. Things happen, things change in my life. I'm real uncertain, lots of shaky ground, not knowing what's going to happen for me. Despite all of the inconvenience, the bitterness, and the sadness that I faced, I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be me. And I'm not something great special, right? I'm not a big success or lots of money or all of this, but I'm grateful to be me because I learned how to feel good. And I learned how to feel good because I was finally willing to put down my fears, to choose to live with love. And once God allowed me to taste love like I'd never experienced it before, that showed me my path. My path is to continue my relationship with God, my relationship with the truth, my relationship with love. My path is to grow in my relationship with those and to hopefully encourage you to do the same thing. Because if you make that simple commitment to yourself, no more excuses, no more blame. I'm going to be honest regardless of consequences. I'm going to be true to me, even if it disappoints others. I'm going to be true to me. I'm going to be true to what I say. I'm going to be true to what I do. If you start being true, the universe may test you, other people may test you, but I tell you what, these tests are, they get easier. Life gets easier. It's when you stay small and you pretend like you've got a comfort zone and you avoid all the danger, you avoid all the risk. And when you get bored, that's your risk, is being bored, but it's not a way to live. The way to live is to grow. And to grow means sometimes you have an adventure. It means stepping out to do what you don't know exactly what to do. Um, hey, I just checked the time. I'm looking at things, doing the math. I do think I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I want to sincerely thank all of you. Uh, yes, I am here. since they're talking, I am going to cat sit. I'm going to go watch some cats, man. And for me, it's going to be time with me. And I'll just kind of retreat into me. And so that's what I'm saying. For the next week, there are uncertainties with me. I know you've got your plans, you've got your path. I hope everything works out for you, and I hope everything works out for me. And I do think we will be returning again. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. I'm going to wrap it up here. And till next time, thank you. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.